In the last video, we created a content type, a custom announcement content type, but we never actually used it. I just showed you how to create it and how to set it up and some of the things to consider when creating a content type. Now what I'm going to do is actually show you how to use this content type uh, and attach it to an existing list. So I'll go into my team site here, and what I'll do is I'll actually create a new announcements list. Go to add an app, and I'll add an announcements app, which, as we said before, is really just a list, but it's an announcements list. So I'll call this my announcements. I'll create the app. Here it is here. So as the contacts list or any other list, it's just empty at the moment. But if I go into the list settings, and then I go into advanced settings, now you'll see here I have the choice whether I want to allow management of content types. By default, all your lists will say you can't allow management of content types. Something like the announcements list or contact list is meant to be used as it is. But obviously, if you understand what it is that you're doing, you can change this setting and create your own content types and use them. But before you can do that, you have to allow the management of content types in your list. This is also useful because you could have different levels of access. So, certain people would be able to use this list but not get into this advanced settings area to change the content types. They would just be able to use what's been set up for them. So press OK. Now you'll see I have a new area here around content types, which we didn't have before. And it basically just shows me that the current content type being used by this list is the announcement content type. It also shows me it's visible on the new button. So when I click new on the ribbon, it'll say I want to create it. It'll give me the option of creating an announcement. You'll see what I mean if I have multiple ones here. And whether it's the default content type for this list. So if I create an item, is it automatically going to be an announcement or is it automatically going to be something else? We only have one choice here. So what I can do here is I can add a new content type, and I've created one. So I'll go to my custom content types, my custom announcement here that I actually created in my home site, but it's available in the team site because of the inheritance. I'll add that content type, press OK. And now you see both content types are available, both visible on the new button, but announcement is still the default content type. I can change these settings if I want, so the new button order and the default content type. So I'll actually do this now because I don't want people using the actual original announcement type. I want them to use my custom announcement content type. So I'll click change new button order and default content type. So I can't remove announcement from this list. Well, actually, that's not true. I can remove it, but I don't want to actually. I'll just untick it for this example. I don't need to change the order or the position, but if I wanted to have both content types there, I could make sure that one was displayed in front of the other. If that was something that was important, I could change the sort order. So I'll change the drop down to have only my custom announcement, and because I've removed announcement from the new button, it's assumed that I want my custom announcement to be the default for this list as well, which is good because that is what I want. I'll go back to my announcements list, and we see what I was talking about on the new item button is actually here. If you go to the items tab, you have a new item with a drop down, and you have my custom announcement. If I was showing my custom announcement content type and the standard announcement content type, they would both appear here, but because I said I don't want it to be shown, all I have is my custom announcement. So if I click on that, you can see I have the title, body, expiration, and the store location that we set, which was a lookup from another list. I'll leave the body blank. I'll save that. And because the content type is the default as well, I don't necessarily need to click on the drop down here to get other options. If I had multiple content types, then I would need to click this to choose specifically what content type I want to use. But if I just press new announcement, it will automatically choose the custom content type. You see I have store location available to me. I'll just show you something really quickly as well. If I go back to list settings and back to my content type management here, and I re-enable the announcement content type, go back to the announcements list, what you'll see when you go to modify an item, to this, oh, I can actually just click here, edit this item. I can change the content type that this particular item is using. Um, Now, this you have to be careful with because if your content types are very different, you don't necessarily want people changing this, but this is potentially useful if, in certain scenarios, you can change between content types. If somebody's chosen the wrong one or whatever, you can just change that. So just to show you what happens if you have multiple content types, you get this additional choice in all of your list items. However, you don't get that when you create a new item. It just assumes that you want to use the default one. So if you don't want to use the default one, you have to go to the Items tab and choose which content type you want to use.